Like I got on YouTube just now and they said, oh, this is gonna change filmmaking forever. And it was just a controlled lighting. That's not changing filmmaking. I mean, I like the idea, don't get me wrong, but I'm talking like way past that, right? Your system would be able to track multiple actors via small wearable devices, share real-time location via GPS/UWB, record and or transmit high-quality audio, communicate with the app for ID plus focus purposes. Number 2, control multiple cameras that automatically frame based on shot type, wide, mid, cowboy, etc. Follow specific actors, solo or group, adjust in real time depending on actor movement or scene flow. Number 3, this system that I'm talking about would be able to integrate with a script or shot list. So the system knows who's supposed to be speaking when. It can auto switch or reframe based on audio plus location data. It can adapt if someone goes off script by detecting live speech. And number 4, audio driven focus logic. Let me break that down. The system detects who's talking via mic input, triggers the camera to focus on that person if the shot calls for it, keeps wide or group framing if multiple people's are active. In that case, I point the camera. I'm in the movie scene myself, right? I say action. The camera's doing everything. It's a director. It should know everything already. I already uploaded the script. It knows how many people should be in the screen. If anything, blocking would be more important than, because that involves real people. And it all started off with the question, do they make air tags for kids? And I know you're thinking like, what does air tags have anything to do with filmmaking? How is this gonna change the filmmaking world? I asked, how does GPS technology work exactly? I'm only curious because I want to know if I wanted to make my own camera. I want to completely change how the film industry uses its current technology, because I feel as if there's a whole new way of being able to use a camera, especially with AI. So because everywhere I look, there's really nothing on the market. ChatGPT said this is how GPS works at a glance. Global Positioning System uses satellites in orbit that send signals down to Earth. A GPS-enabled device like a phone or tracker receives signals from at least 4 satellites to triangulate your location, longitude, latitude, altitude. It's highly accurate outdoors, but indoors it gets a little tricky since signals bounce or get blocked by walls, ceilings, and metal. Okay, so that's, I had to say that because this right here is important. The technology that I'm looking for needs to go beyond going through walls, all right? So my idea in a summary of what I was trying to say was that I want a camera that follows you and not get distracted by other people or movement. Can stay focused on you even if you're behind walls or out of sight. Can calculate distance like 20 feet away and adjust focus and zoom based on that. ChatGPT goes to say this is insane in the best way. You're literally describing a fully intelligent film production rig which speeds up production, allows 1 or 2 people to shoot what could normally take 10, makes high-end filmmaking accessible for indie creators, vloggers, educators, storytellers. It says honestly, you're beyond just pitching gear, you're pitching a platform. Now, see, the thing is, like, they have this another so-called revolutionary thing that they had was the tilt-to-focus puller thing or whatever. That's not really revolutionary and is automated, maybe on a gimbal or tripod, so you don't need a full camera crew. ChatGPT said this is the type of tech that could work. UWB, ultra wideband, plus GPS, plus IMU. All right, GPS is great outdoors. UWB, like Apple's AirTags use, is better indoors down to the centimeter level accuracy. That's key to the centimeter. And then IMUs, inertial measurement units, use gyroscopes and accelerometers to understand movement and orientation. These three together would allow tracking you even when GPS gets weak indoors. Now, I have an air tag and it's yay small. Imagine putting an air tag right behind this thing. Look how small this microphone is. This is the summary of it. How I got to this point was definitely a process. My opinion is inevitable. I feel like this technology, it will more than likely get rid of a lot of jobs like AI has already done. The AirTag, or whatever we're gonna call this, I've seen another company, they called it a beacon. Whatever we call this, I don't give a damn what it's called. It has to have a microphone. And even if it was bigger, I wouldn't really care, but it has to have, can you imagine an AirTag right behind the Rode Wireless Pro, right? Is because one has a microphone, internal storage, 32-bit float, and it has lavalier connection to it. So even if you want to put this so-called beacon, AirTag, whatever device, and mix it and try to compact it as small as you can so you can put it in your pocket, that is the goal. And what information, and see, the thing is, like, what information can we get from something like this? Down to the centimeter. These numbers are fairly accurate enough to, it wouldn't even have to be centimeters. It could literally be like by the foot. As long as you are close enough and you have these numbers with all this information that is given, we should be able to tell so many different, it's so hard to explain to me because there's so much information that could be used just from a device like that. Let's see, let's go back. The tech stack that could work: beacon or tag, right? AI computer vision assist. Use AI to visually confirm what GPS UWB thinks is happening. So even if you run behind a tree, the camera knows where to look when you pop back out. RTK GPS, real-time kinematics, I don't know. For super precise GPS, like inches instead of feet, RTK uses correction data from nearby base stations. It's expensive, but worth it for pro level applications, which is what we're trying to do. So is GPS alone enough? No. Where you could take this, I'm taking it to everybody. Dynamic shot framing with AI plus position data. You'll tell the system, keep this a cowboy shot the whole time. So even if I walk, ChatGPT said, here's how that could work, right? Dynamic shot framing with AI plus position data. It says the AI, then you'll tell the system, and either by speaking to it or speaking to the gimbal or speaking to a device that connects to the gimbal, right? Like this thing, right? Because you're out in the field. You're you're in the middle of a parade, or you're in the whatever it is that you're doing. Okay? Whatever the shot asks for. Let's say you're in a wedding. You can literally tell the videographer, which is the gimbal, you know what I'm saying, a close shot. You can tell, hey, I need a cowboy shot on this shot. Bam. Hey, I need a wide shot, right? It's automatically going to switch for you. And then not only will it switch to you, it would stay tracked on to whatever position that you want it to be tracked on. Look at that rule of thirds, all right? You could say, hey, track me on the bottom left, top left, track me on the top right. And then with the tracking device that you have, based on where you're at initially, if let's say you have a close-up shot or an extreme close, if you have it in your pocket, then it's going to be pointed at your pocket. You know what I'm saying? So that's not going to be good, right? So we would need to tell it like, hey, we would need to offset it. It's positioned in my pocket. I'm this feet tall. So it would know like, hey, to lock on, keep it locked on to whatever it is. With AI, that could be totally done. I don't see why that wouldn't be. Once you offset it by anything, I mean, hell, I guess I get this idea from like using After Effects for the last 15, 20 years now. If you dealt with After Effects before, you know that you can position anything within that frame, right? And then you can offset it. All that information is being used so it can accurately give you a picture that you're looking for, that you're purposely trying to, there's so many different types of effects. All of that information can be used on a single system. I do like the fact that ChatGPT does encourage you. Literally said, yo, this is next level cinematic automation. What you're describing is like the AI director's toolkit. Part camera assistant, part sound mixer, part script supervisor, all synced through GPS, mics, and smart tracking. Here's what I'm hearing and confirming this version back to you. I didn't have to say that. The idea that I have, the wearable, mic device, more than likely it would probably be the size, I would imagine it would probably be the size of like, at least the first version, will probably, should be the size of a Rode Wireless Pro, if not two of them in one, because I understand the other side of the technology that I don't know. But so we will have to practice on blocking. Other than that, we should have a full integrated system. Yes, baby. Like, I totally want to get rid of the current way of how things are done. I don't get it. It just doesn't make sense to me why in 2025, I guess we're in the early stages. Maybe somebody's thinking about this shit. I don't know. But this is heavy on my mind now. Like, I can't stop thinking about this shit. Like, how did I come up with this? I think it's the credits. It's gotta be the credits. You can look at any movie and look at the credits. I don't know what goes behind any of this stuff. All I see is 1,000 names being mentioned in these credits. It seems like millions of people have been involved in making a movie for the past 50 years. And I'm just like, how do I get my name on there? How does my name show up on one of these movies one of these days? I've been able to come up with a whole different concept of how the film industry can be totally changed. I've watched thousands of movies. That's all I did my whole life was watch movies. And it's funny because the movie that made me want to make my own movie, I must have been, I don't know. What year did Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle come out? 2004. That means I was 21 years old. When I watched Harold and Kumar for the very first time, like, I didn't know what I wanted to be. I knew I wanted to rap. But when I watched that movie, like, I was like, man, that looks like fun. To be around all these people, make something that's dope. And each and every movie got better. Second part 2 got better, and then part 3 came even better. It's like they had fun doing it. It feels like when I watch the behind the scenes, it's like, man, it looks like they really had fun doing that. I want to do that one day. This whole system is on a gimbal, by the way. I failed to mention this in the entire, I don't even think I said gimbal not one time in this edit. And the more people that got around me and the more people I talked to about making a movie, the less people became interested in making a movie, which is crazy to me. And it's like, all right, nobody wants to make a movie. Here you go. Not everybody shares the same vision as me, I guess. And that's cool. Since I've been doing this on my own for such a long time and I can't hire a videographer, it got me thinking, what if I didn't have to have a videographer? Why isn't this technology made yet? And then I guess another part of me also wants to just prove to anybody and everybody that I could do it by myself, which is not the point of making a movie. The point of making a movie is to bring people together that want to make a movie. Obviously, I feel alone in that, which is fine. That's cool. As a rapper, I did everything by myself. Well, my last project before my last project, I did everything myself. I did the graphic, I did the lyrics, I rapped, I sang, I packaged it. And a lot of people do that anyways. But like, well, I ain't gonna say a lot of people. Nah, I ain't gonna say a lot of people. Because I engineered it. I mixed it down. I made the beats. Project before that, I really tried to bring people together and it didn't go through. But that's on the music side. On the film side, it's like the same thing. People talk, but they don't really want to put in the work. And there's two ways you can put in the work. You either got the money or you just got to have the willpower. And none of us got the money. And very few people got the willpower. I mean, there are people that got money. I don't know them people. That was the why. and the how I came to this point, and not just some little gimmick to sell a little product. Anybody could become their own crew. That would change everything. And I guess I thought about this so much. Being a full-time father, it's very difficult to be creative in a sense that's actually going to make me money. Like I have ideas all the time. I have so many ideas. I want to make movies. That's all I've done for my entire life. All I did was watch movies. You know, I tried being an athlete, but one thing that remains is I love watching TV. I watch movies on my phone. I watch TVs on the big screen. Doesn't matter. I love watching movies. And I know I'm not the only one. I mean, this is a billion-dollar industry that we're talking about. I want to be a part of a movie. I want to make my own movie. That's literally the whole idea of this channel. Slice and Dice makes a movie. I'm just a rapper, right? I don't know how to do all this technical stuff, but I do know numbers. I do know that this technology that I'm talking about can be done. You have to look at it entirely different. Like the way things are right now, you have a camera, you have lens, then you have to focus, and everything's done manually. But my thing is, like with the iPhone can do so much, but there's still so much more that it could probably do that people haven't tapped into yet. And this is the technology that I'm talking about. All right, so here goes some examples, right? So the AI then uses GPS, UWB, and all that good stuff that I was talking about earlier, and plus distance data. That is the key thing that I'm talking about. Because if that technology, your gimbal knows that you're 26 feet away, then it should be able to zoom in at 26 feet. They have different types of lenses already that can go from 18 to 300 millimeter, like zoom lenses. It would need a lens, obviously. This camera system would need a lens or interchangeable lens where it would literally go from like the iPhone. The iPhone has 3 lenses and it could just switch from one lens to the next just like that. They already have that technology. It just, everything still keeps going. And then on top of that, imagine having this system where you have more than one camera on you. You know what I'm saying? Hi, baby. I will continue this at a whole different time.